Hi, and welcome back to the Modern Hippie Girl podcast. I am so excited for you to be here today. Today, we are going to talk all about the products that we're putting on our body and how they are the biggest contributor to our hormonal imbalance. They are called endocrine disruptors for a reason. So sit back and tune in because this is what a modern hippie girl is all about. There are so many hidden harsh chemicals in our products that are wreaking havoc on our body. And if we do not know what to look out for, we are just going to start getting more and more and more sick. But as soon as we can make the switch to non-toxic products, we can start to see a big shift and we can start to heal our body. It's not just about what you put in your body. It's also about what you put on your body. Our skin is our largest organ. And anything that we put on our skin can get into our bloodstream within 26 seconds. Okay, think about the nicotine patch or the birth control patch. These were invented to get right into your bloodstream to help with whatever it is that they're trying to administer. So there's a story that I feel like it's worth mentioning. At the end stages of life, when people are in hospice care and they're in a lot of pain, instead of putting patients on an IV with morphine, they are now putting it on topically because it can get into their bloodstream faster and give them more relief faster. That just shows you how much what we are putting on our skin is getting into our body. So it is so important to understand what is in your shampoo, your conditioner, your soap, your makeup, the detergents and stuff that you use, the softeners that we use for our clothes. All of those things are giving access to our body to get all these toxins. So let's get into it because this is what a modern hippie girl is all about. Taking the products that you love, still using everything. Like I still want to get my hair done. I still want to put on makeup every day. I still want to put it on, deodorant, but I'm going to use non-toxic versions of those that are not going to further any hormonal imbalance. Okay. The number one thing that I'm going to talk about is mineral oil, because you can see that there are going to be a bunch of, top 10, top 20 harsh chemicals that are put into our products. But most people do not talk about mineral oil. Mineral oil is generally one of the first ingredients that is in our products. And if you don't know this, when you are looking at the ingredient list, the first ingredients of the ingredient list are the ones that they have the most of. Okay? Mineral oil is generally one of the first ones. Product companies are very smart. Okay? They know that when people are privy to the harm of mineral oil, that they're going to avoid that product. So there are literally so many alternative names for mineral oil. It is not even funny. So unless you have the list of mineral oil alternative names, it is hard to look at your product ingredients and say, oh, I see that this is mineral oil. That's not a good product. Why is mineral oil not a good product? So if you don't know much about mineral oil is a byproduct of petroleum, which is gasoline, right? And when they are going through the process of making petroleum, there is a byproduct called mineral oil. So there are two solutions to getting rid of this mineral oil. One, you can distribute it to a place where it is basically gone and they're not going to be able to use it, and there's like a proper way to discard it. The other way is to sell it to beauty product companies to be the number one filler in our personal care products. What do you think product companies are going to do? They're going to buy this cheap byproduct to be a filler in their product that they're making for them to have a larger profit. Mineral oil is essentially baby oil. And most of us have put baby oil on our skin before, right? You know what it feels like. It's got that like that thick layer of oil on your skin. But when you think about that going onto your skin, you know that you can feel that like nothing's really getting through there, right? No oxygen is getting through that oil. And now no toxins are getting out of your skin because there's a barrier, there's a layer on your skin. Mineral oil is literally in all of our products. Doesn't matter what it is. Shampoo, conditioner, lotion, makeup, it does not matter what it is. It is in everything unless you are choosing to use non-toxic products. So when you are putting soap and lotion and makeup and all of these things on your skin, you are putting a barrier on your skin so that no oxygen is getting into it and no toxins are being able to get out of it. That is a problem, right? Because we want our body to be able to excrete toxins so that we are not overfilled with toxins, right? We already are bombarded with toxins constantly just from the harsh chemicals that are in our products. Now, when they can't get out of your skin and out of your body because you have mineral oil on it, that just means that those toxins are staying in our body to make us more sick. Mineral oil is the number one thing that you want to avoid. Obviously, there are, like the top 10 that you should not use, which is like parabens and SLSs and PEGs. And there's a list. I will share with you guys the list. Most companies have now said they are removing these things from their products. Okay. But here's the problem with that. This brings me to the next thing that should not be in your product that we need to watch out for, which is fragrances. Okay. So whenever the word fragrance is in your ingredient list, unless it specifically says that it comes from essential oils, that product company does not have to specify what made that fragrance. That is a loophole for beauty companies to be able to put back in anything that they either said that they were not putting in their products or that is banned from being put in their products. So if you guys are not aware, there are EU standards, European standards, and then there's American standards, and then there's Australian standards and Canadian standards and all different types of standards for all different types of places. The EU has the highest standards, okay? They have over 2,200 harsh chemicals that are banned from being put into their products. Do you know how many are banned in America? Not half, not a tenth, literally not even 1%. 11 of the 2,200 harsh chemicals that are banned in the EU are banned in America. And they're not even banned. They're just frowned upon, okay? Because there is a Personal Care Act, okay? So back in the day, this was in the 1920s, the government put together a law stating that certain things were not supposed to be put into our products. Well, that Personal Care Act literally has not been touched until a couple years ago. So once that got put in place, then there was a standard again. And then there was, said that we couldn't have certain things in our products. And that's why now you see that a lot of products say that they're paraben free or they are SLS free or whatever. But again, I will preface, if a product ingredient says fragrance on it, they do not have to specify what made that fragrance, and they could put back into our products the things that are now banned or frowned upon. Parabens, SLSs, all the different things. So this is why choosing non-toxic products, organic products that do not have harsh chemicals in them is so important. Product companies that are doing the right thing have come a long way. They are no longer extremely expensive to purchase. Are they going to be more expensive? Yes, because the process to make them and to not have the cheap fillers like mineral oil and formaldehyde and all of the things that are common endocrine disruptors, they are going to be more expensive, correct? Okay, so when you're taking the time and the effort to make sure that all the ingredients that are going into your products are to a high standard and are not just a harsh chemical that's made in a lab, that is going to be a more expensive process. And this is why non-toxic products are still more expensive. I understand that, sometimes it can be hard to say, well, I can buy this shampoo for $5 and it smells great and, I like the way it makes my hair feel, but then I can buy this shampoo and it's really, really good for my body and it still makes my hair feel good and it still smells good, but it's 4 times as much. I understand that. I get that. Here's a food for thought. If we have something that we really, really want, we will spend the money for it. Okay. Oftentimes we'll say, oh my gosh, $100 to buy all new skincare. That's so expensive. But we go to dinner for a family of 4. It's $100. That's a great deal. I don't think it's a great deal, but you know what I'm saying. We have to change our mindset on what's important and what we're spending our money on. Our dollar is our voice. The more that we purchase non-toxic products, the more that the industry sees that that's what we want and the more that they become available. And then that helps with the price point coming down because there's more competition and then there's more companies that are putting out more inexpensive products because the ingredients that they're using become more widely available. Does that make sense? I understand that you can't just go out and, switch all of your products. Okay. When I first found out about this, I was at an Arbonne party and I had not heard anything about non-toxic products before, clean living, anything like that. I was like, what are you guys talking about? And when I was done with the party, I went home and I was looking at the list of the ingredients that they were telling us to be wary of. And it was literally in every single one of my products. Everything, every single thing. And I'm like, I can't just go home and throw everything in the trash bin and start all over again. Like that's going to be really expensive. So here's what I say to do. As you run out, replace that with a non-toxic product. Over time, you have now replaced all of your products with non-toxic products. You will see a huge shift in the way your body feels. I had really, really, really bad eczema my entire life. Really, really bad. Like I didn't wear dresses at school. I didn't wear shorts at school. I only wore pants and t-shirts because I had such bad eczema all over my body. I did not want anybody to see it. When I was old enough to move out of the house and be on my own, I started buying my own products, right? Because I was responsible for myself. I started buying hypoallergenic products. It helped tremendously because those don't have fragrances in them. They don't have artificial dyes. They don't have a lot of the things that our normal products have. Obviously, they don't smell as great, but with the amount of agony that I was in, I was willing to make that sacrifice. I still had eczema. I want to say I was, it's 10 years ago. I'm 45. I was 35 when I went to my first Arbonne party. And this is not a plug for Arbonne. I'm just telling you my story, okay? Went to my first party. I ended up getting a thing of their body wash. And after I started using it, within 3 days, my eczema completely went away. And I had been struggling with eczema since I was a baby. Okay. And yes, it got a lot better when I started using hypoallergenic stuff, but it never fully went away. I would still have flare-ups all the time. And I now understand more about what was triggering me: dairy, fragrances, being hot, a lot of different things. When I started using Arbonne's body wash, my eczema went away and it never came back. Why? Because Arbonne abides by European standards. So all those harsh chemicals that are in our personal care products here in America were no longer a problem for me. And that was one of the main issues that, because I had stopped eating dairy. I knew being in the heat triggered me. So I was, avoiding certain instances so that I wouldn't, be overly hot or wear a certain fabric that was going to get, detergent into my skin and make me have a breakout or whatever. Like I learned what it was happening, but I still was having flare-ups. That was the last little inch of what I needed to make my eczema go away. So my point is, we don't realize how much the harsh chemicals in our products are affecting our bodies until they're not there anymore. I remember after years of using Arbonne, I went like on a vacation and I forgot my stuff. And I had to use something that I bought like on vacation. Immediately, within like days, my eczema came back. I was so itchy. I was just miserable. And I was like, holy crap, like I cannot believe this. Like it's been years since I've had a flare up. And it was just because I switched to a non-toxic product. So I share this story with you, not to plug Arbonne, even though I love Arbonne. I share it with you because this is how much the harsh chemicals in our products are affecting us. But the biggest reason why I say that it is worth it to switch to non-toxic products is for the endocrine disrupting factor. As women, we have such hormonal imbalances in America that we need to be doing all of the things to get our hormones back in balance. And it is not just about eating different, regulating your stress, and healing your gut. That's all internal stuff, right? Okay. That's all stuff that you can do internally. We also have to tackle it from the outside as well. And that's switching to non-toxic products. The majority of women that have biopsies from a tumor that once they were diagnosed with breast cancer from their armpit have aluminum in them when tested. Why? Because most deodorants and antiperspirants have aluminum in them. Okay? We are shaving that area constantly, so our pores are open. B, we have a lot of lymph nodes in our armpit. A lot. So they're very susceptible to being affected. And we're just constantly putting harsh chemicals in there. Aluminum being one of the number one ones. It's just like a perfect storm for breast cancer besides the internal contributors, which is stress, alcohol, and not properly feeding yourself. Yes, we can do all the internal stuff, but we got to do the external stuff too. So I know. A lot of people are like, yeah, but when I, switch to a non-toxic deodorant, like it's not as effective or it doesn't not make me sweat. Like I get it. I have a list of all the things that are the best ones and that are effective. So if that's something that you want to find out about, DM me and I will, send you the list. But this is what I'm saying. It is so vitally important to make those shifts because we are being affected by it constantly. Okay. Kids younger and younger and younger are being diagnosed with cancer. I mean, the cancer age used to be like 50s and 60s, 40s, 50s and 60s. Now it's like 20s and 30s. That's insane. Kids are getting cancer at a higher rate now because our products are so filled with crap. So it is so important to make the switch. And I get it. There might be some die-hard products where you're like, nope, I have to use this. I don't care if it's not non-toxic. I'm the same way with certain things. Like I am a chapstick lip balm fanatic. Like there's one in every single space around me. My nightstand, my purse, my kitchen, my bathroom, my kids' bathroom, my kids' rooms. Like I have them everywhere. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? The Modern Hippie Girl Reset is a 3-phase holistic wellness program designed to help women reconnect with their bodies and create real, lasting health from the inside out. In this program, you'll get precise meal plans, hormone and gut healing protocols, stress management tools, blood sugar balancing tips, and an extensive holistic health education to help you keep your results for life. Plus, there's optional personalized coaching to support you every step of the way. If you've been feeling off, overwhelmed, or stuck, this is how we'll get back to feeling like your best self again. Check out all of our programs at modernhippiegirlwellness.com. So I have experienced nausea like crazy from my chapsticks. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I have found certain chapsticks that do not make me feel like that, so I stick to those. But for the most part, everything in my household is non-toxic. My shampoo, my conditioner, my makeup. That's why I love Arbonne's makeup, because it's non-toxic. It's like why I love all their personal care products, because they're non-toxic. They abide by European standards. They, harvest and have all their own ingredients. My detergent is non-toxic. The, soap, dish soap that we use, the hand soap we use, like everything. But I've made those transitions over time. That wasn't just, overnight. But once you do, it's just like making that swap at the store. Instead of buying this marinara sauce, you buy this marinara sauce. And you just make the simple switches to give your body something better so that you can feel your best. Okay? It sucks that our government doesn't regulate this and that we do not have a choice but to buy crap because it's more affordable. But like I said, the more that we use our dollars, our voice, and the more that we spend the money on the non-toxic version, the more the industry sees that that's what we want, that's what we need. And I think that we've seen a huge shift in that, right? Because the MAHA movement has shown that we are not going to stand for this anymore. We are not going to be guinea pigs. You're not going to keep putting harsh chemicals in our products and harsh chemicals in our food. We are sick. We are so sick as a country. And the only way for us to get better is to make changes. And those changes are what's being made right now with the MAHA movement. And it doesn't matter what your political view is. No one should be susceptible to being bombarded by all these toxins. Because the MTHFR gene, which if you don't know, is our gene that helps our body detoxify, has basically like doubled in Americans. And if your body cannot detox on its own, and then you're just constantly putting toxic stuff in your body through your products and through your food, your body is just going to get more sick at an accelerated rate. Because your body has to detox this stuff out. And because of the fact that we have so many toxins that we are exposed to every single day, our body can't possibly keep up with that. This is why you should take things like glutathione. This is why you should drink like Arbonne's detox tea, which I'm not trying to keep plugging Arbonne, but I'm just saying there are things that help your body detox when you do not have the ability to detox enough because we are being bombarded by harsh chemicals. I do my foot baths all the time. I use my glutathione patch from LifeWave. I take glutathione. I do a heavy metal detox like 4 times a year. The medical medium, he has a detox smoothie that I love, that I use all the time. I drink Arbonne's detox tea. I do my own detox, my 7-day detox that I sell. I do that like every 6 weeks. Like we have to give our body additional help to detox because we are so bombarded from everything. And we're not even talking about the air and what we're susceptible to in that sense. I mean, cloud seeding and the amount of toxins in our air right now is just a whole nother podcast by itself. But we need to be helping our bodies detox as much as we possibly can. So if you have the MTHR gene, you need to be switching to non-toxic products and eating organic. Bottom line. Like there's no adjustment with that. Like there's so many things that your body is susceptible to that others aren't because you have that gene, you need to be really, really mindful of how your body is detoxing and what you're doing. If you start to make small steps in switching everything, you got to go to the grocery store all the time, right? To buy your food. Make the simple swaps. You're going to run out of your products that you're using. Make the simple swap. There are more cost-effective versions of non-toxic products that you could purchase instead of going for the big dog. Okay? You're either going to pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later. I'm going to keep saying that. All of these shifts that you're making to make healthier purchases are just going to give you better health in your last days of your life. I don't know about you, but again, I don't want to be old and decrepit and bedridden and a burden to my family. I want to be at my best to the end. This is what a modern hippie girl is. We have to make adjustments and pivots and navigate this world by ourselves because our government is not looking out for our best interest. Well, they are starting to right now, but until these become an industry standard, we have to look out for ourselves. Thank goodness they are starting to take things out like dyes and take out certain ingredients that we know have been contributing to so many different ailments that we have been suffering from. It's just going to continue to get better and better and better. But until it's all regulated, we have to look out for ourselves. Okay? We are the one that's in control of spending our dollar. We are the one who's buying our products and our food for ourselves. Make the simple swaps. Your body will thank you for it. Your hormones will thank you for it. Your gut will thank you for it. Your inflammation will thank you for it. Your sleep will get better. Your blood sugar will get better. Your nervous system will get better. Your skin's going to feel better. There's just so many benefits to making the switch to non-toxic products. I think I'm going to stop there because I could get on my soapbox and really dive deep into so many different avenues of this world, like zero waste and, regenerative farming and all of that stuff. But I'm like buying your products at like farmers markets and, finding a reputable source for people that make things themselves. I mean, the options are endless. Okay. Once you dive into this world of non-toxic living, it's a Pandora's box and there's just so many options. We just don't hear about them. And until you learn about them, there's just nothing that you can do. We don't know. So I'm here to let you know. Okay. Thank you so much for hopping on and sticking with me through another episode. I hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. If you are, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please comment below with something that you learned and something that was helpful for you. Please share this with somebody that popped into your head as you were listening to this. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye!